Hi there, I'm downstairs, just trying to sort my tablet out, so hopefully it will stay sort of stood up on its end and won't fall over. I thought it's still a bit warm here, so I'll stay downstairs rather than going up to the attic. So if you join us live, please say hi. Put a comment, pop me a comment in. If you've got any questions, pop them in as well. If you watch on replay, put a hashtag replay. So apologies, the hair is a bit frizzy. Unfortunately, when it's humid, it does go a bit like very afro type thing. I sort of yeah, it's a bit of a bit wild. So hope everyone's all right. So this is day 4 of the self-care challenge. So what have I done yesterday? What did we do yesterday? We didn't really do a lot yesterday. Oh. Sorry, that was the tablet falling over. So yesterday, again, it was another warm one here. So we basically sort of took it easy. We drank lots of water. Tried to stay cool. I did go to bed early last night because I've not slept well the night before because of the heat. I managed to finish work early and managed to get some sunshine late afternoon, which was really nice. So that was sort of my self-care for yesterday. Today, again, it's another warm one, so I've been hydrating. I just had some of my turkey and cranberry cottage pie for tea, so that was really nice. So I've enjoyed that, and I've sort of taken it another easy day because again it's been warm. I've been in the attic and it's just sweltering up there. Hi Sophia, nice to you to join me. And I'll probably go into bed early because again hot light last night, didn't sleep well, so a bit grumpy this morning. And we've also had a dog train around this afternoon, so me and the younger 2 dogs are sort of mentally stimulated from that this afternoon. So I wanted to talk continue sort of the self-care theme. I haven't got anything specific, but with the challenge, I'd love it if you can engage and put what you're doing. If people are engaging, it encourages others to join in, and we want to get into that practice of making sure we're prioritising ourselves each day. We want to bring down that stress cortisol hormone level, because doing that will help reduce your symptoms. We've still got the workshop video where that is pinned to the top of the group, so do watch that. If you do watch it, do hashtag replay in it so I can sort of catch up with you and see if you've got any questions, or if you've got any questions, put them in the comments and I can answer them. If you haven't got the workbook, I can send you the workbook. That's in the workbook. We've got the self-care bingo, so if you just want a copy of the self-care bingo, I can send you that as well. So that is, hi Emma, thanks for joining. That is, I think there's 31 different self-care options on that. So you can aim to do a line, get a line, or go for the full house. So and it gives you different ideas, because sometimes you think, well, what can I do? And self-care, as I keep saying, it doesn't have to cost anything. It's something where you're able to sit down and relax and take a breath and let your body go into that rest and digest. It can be as simple as just doing some basic breathing exercises. Or if you go to a yoga class or something like that, as long as it's a nice gentle yoga class rather than one that's like a hot yoga where you come out dripping wet, because that will send your sort of cortisol levels up. So anything, it's something you enjoy where you're not stressing. You can put everything away and just settle down and just leave the just have that sort of sit down and relax. I did think of some other things I was going to say about self-care this morning, and for the life of me, I think the brain's fuddled. The weather's fuddled my brain. So making sure you're hydrated, that's a really good self-care thing. Again, when it's weather like this and you're sweating more, you're losing more fluid, and if you are suffering from hot sweats or night sweats on top of that, you're losing even more. So it's really important that you replace that fluid that you're losing to make sure you remain hydrated, keep everything moving. and also keep your brain nice and moist, because that's about 70% water, and you don't want that drying up, because that's where your brain fog can come from, as well as sort of the high cortisol levels. So it's looking after things. Another thing for you could think of as self-care is looking at products that you use for yourself, whether it's skin products or household products around the house. A lot of products, especially if you buy them off the shelf, they're full of chemicals. They've got sulfates in that basically strip the oil off your skin, and you can find like sodium lauryl sulfates in cleansers, shampoos, I think they're in toothpaste, soaps, they're in absolutely everything. And I was about 20 years ago, hi Paula, but I was doing a complementary therapy. I was doing complementary therapy at the time, and volunteering at the local hospice. So I was doing a complementary therapy and cancer care diploma at Christie Hospital, which is, if you don't know, it is the main cancer hospital up in Manchester. And it was there that I learned that I'd never heard of sodium lauryl sulfates and things like that in products. They said that was came up to strip the oil off garage floors. And if you think about it, when once you've used sort of a soap or a cleanser or stuff like that, when you've washed your hands or your face or whatever, your face feels really tight because you've basically stripped all the oil off it. So since then, I've been sort of moved away from things like that. Aluminium in deodorants as well. If you look at the ingredients of a sort of a roll-on deodorant or antiperspirant off the shelf, aluminium in it. So if you're cutting yourself shaving and then slapping on your antiperspirant, you're soaking up even more aluminium and stuff like that. So looking at self-care from that perspective, trying to go for the more natural products or the ones that haven't got the nasty chemicals in it as well, because we don't know what impact that is having on our hormones as well. So personally, I love the Neal's Yard. I go for the Be Lovely shower gels and hand soaps. They've not got any sulfates in them. It's geranium and I can't remember what the other orange and geranium, I think, are the two smells in it. There's definitely orange in it. Geranium might be wrong, but they're slightly cheaper than their own sort of makes. Their own makes amazing. But I tend to go to the Be Lovely as well. So that's really good. And I've just and also natural deodorants and things like that. We've got a local company near us called The Green Woman, and they do amazing natural deodorants. They're a cream, you just rub them on, and they're like an antiperspirant. They really do stop you sweating, and there's no nasties in there. They work with the breast care cancer charity as well, promoting sort of non-chemicals and stuff like that. So if you're wanting, if you're looking at natural sort of products, they're a really, really good company. So that's The Green Woman. And they also do a natural toothpaste as well. There's in an aluminium tin. It takes a bit of getting used to, because it's not like your Colgate where they get this zing of beautiful, minty fresh. It is fresh, but it is different to normal toothpaste. And they do a sun cream as well. I think it's 30 factor on top, as well as amazing creams that aren't water-based. Again, a lot of hand creams are water-based, so that's why your hand dries up. You have to keep putting more and more on, because of the water in the product that evaporates, so your hands get dry. Theirs are not water-based. I've started, I've got some beautiful smell. They've got a range called Love, and it's jasmine based, and I adore jasmine, so I use that. And I've also got some of the Neal's Yard baby balm, and that's not water based either. I've started using that at night as hand cream, and that's really, really nice. And I've noticed sort of been improving my nails and things like that, because they're not drying them out. So that's another way you can look at self-care. Again, looking at the the products that you use, your cleaning products and things like that. You could go more natural. They are more expensive, but it's sort of weighing up the the expense against health as well. So there is, you can look at that as self-care. Then of course you've got your exercise, depending on what you want to do. Again, if it's sort of really sort of intensive exercise, that will push your cortisol levels up. So you're wanting to do that earlier in the day, because the last thing you want to do is do your exercise just before you go to bed, because you'll be trying to get to sleep while your cortisol's raging and you just won't get off. So you want to do that as early as you can, at least 2 hours before you go to bed, to help with your sleep. I did some, what did I do? Hatha yoga earlier in the week. That was a really nice sort of mixture of yin, which I do on a Sunday morning. So yin yoga is stretching in poses and staying there for like 3 minutes to stretch all the soft tissue, and then you move into another one. And Hatha then had a bit of sort of vinyasa one, which is a bit more flow, where you go from warrior 2 to warrior 3 to warrior 4, etc., etc. And then we had a sound bath at the end, and again, that was amazing. Linny that did it had done a sound bath with us at our yoga, my yoga group, last year some point, and I had been, when we were doing it, I was lying there trying to work out what she was doing, but this time I just let myself go with it, and you could feel the energy coming off it. It was really, 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 really relaxing. So if you've got something like that and you're into alternative things, that is definitely worth the go. So what else can you do for self-care? Diet, making sure you're eating really well, having a really good meal, making sure it's healthy, you're not eating the refined carbohydrates, avoiding processed food, eating, good quality proteins, fresh vegetables, looking at getting, I'm really lucky where I live. We've got an amazing vegetable shop that sells fruit and veg. It's really it's really local, has a lot of local products in it, and they last longer than you get from the super. If you go to Tesco, the food doesn't last so long, because you don't know how long it's been sat in the refrigerator in storage before it goes onto the lorry, before it gets to the supermarket, where they collect this every morning. So making sure you're eating really good wholesome fruit and veg. And again, the fresher it is, the more nutrients it's got in it. The way you cook it is really important as well. You don't want to pull all the nutrients out by boiling it into a mush. Try and steam it, or eating it raw as well. So doing things like that, that is good for self-care. Hugging your dog. I've just seen a photo with Sophia. Oh, that's gorgeous, Sophia, that photo of you and your cat. So hugging a photo, hugging a photo might work, but definitely hugging animals boost your oxytocin. As you know, I've got, you may or may not know, I've got 3 dogs. And they're Cocker Spaniels, so they're quite clingy, but they're definitely all really cuddly, especially the youngest one. So that will boost your oxytocin. I did, prior to doing this, I worked in operating theatres for years, and doing my theatre diploma, we had to do a module on anaesthetic care. So the anaesthetic room before you go in, they put you to sleep before you go in for your surgery. And one of the articles that we were told about was called 3 Hugs a Day, and it was written, I think it was by a nurse, looking at the importance of therapeutic touch. And the conclusion was that 3 hugs a day can help with positive mood, and 12 hugs a day can help prevent depression. So because it's boosting that oxytocin. You want to boost that oxytocin, that makes you feel happier. It's the love hormone, it's a hormone that kicks in when you have a baby. So hugging your dog, don't go around hugging strangers. You don't want to end up getting arrested and stuff like that, but looking at ways, that is self-care as well. That's boosting that oxytocin, making you feel better. It's also bringing down your cortisol levels, so that's a really good thing as well. Other things you can do if you like reading, taking yourself off for that thing, but setting boundaries is a big one as well. Setting boundaries is definitely during the menopause plan. That is one of the weeks that we look at, is And one of the week is asking for help plus setting boundaries. And setting boundaries is really important. Do you have to do everything you do, or are you doing it because it's historic and you've always done it? Just because you've always spun 20 plates doesn't mean to say you have to keep spinning them. And the more you say yes, the more people will put on you, especially sort of like in work. So it's learning to say no, learning to ask for help, or yes, I can do this, but I can't do the other 25,000 things that you want me to do by Friday. Which, can you prioritise which one you want me to do, or take off the other stuff? So looking at doing things like that, again, around the home with family. Can they take some responsibility? Give you that breather and that chance to sit down and have a break, having the kids washing up or doing the ironing and stuff like that. If you're working from home, as you know, I do occupational health assessments as well, and people that are home working, they'll always say to me, I usually start early because I'm working at home, and I'll finish later because I'm working at home. And it's, they're not having proper breaks during the day. So I say to them, well, put a commute in. Although you're working from home, consider putting a commute in. Because just because you're working from home is not an excuse for working starting early. Use that time that you would commute, or part of that, obviously if it's not an hour, unless you wanted to. You could go for a walk. Use that commute time to do something for you. And the same going home, commuting sort of home used to be, when people were in the office 5 days a week, that was the time that they de-stressed, the time they could work through things that have been through. Work wasn't coming home as much as it is now. So, think about it, just because I'm working from home is, doesn't mean to say that I can work even more hours because it's convenient. It's putting those boundaries in, looking after yourself. Another boundary is if you've got your work emails on your phone, if it's your personal phone, take them off. You shouldn't be, you need a break. You need to have that break from work, because that is stressing you out, because you're always wondering, oh my God, what's going on? Personally, I have two phones. I leave my work phone in the attic. I switch it off when I finish off on a Friday, switch it back on a Monday. I don't want employers phoning me on a Saturday afternoon or anything like that. That is me setting boundaries for me. Again, I don't have my emails on my personal phone, so they can't get hold of me that way. So I don't know. It's always a surprise on a Monday to see who's contacted me or who's tried to get hold of me on Friday night at 9 o'clock. But it's being sensible and doing what you can do to help you. So sort of within I'm just trying to think of something, if there's anything else I can think of. But yeah, it's being sensible, looking after yourself. I am looking. Hi Lorraine, welcome. I am looking at putting together I'm going to do a live on sleep. So a bit about what it is, how important it is, techniques to get to sleep. That I learned when I did the sleep course that I've done. So if you do the 6-month program with me, you get a sleep assessment as part of that. So that's based on the cognitive behavioural therapy for insomnia, but it's a second generation. It was developed by the psychologist that ran the course, who's been working in sleep for 20 plus years. So I'm working on a sleep thing. I'm also working on some resources to look at sort of off the beat, depending on how alternative you want to go. I have, like I said, I've done complementary therapy previously, so I'm working on an aromatherapy resource as well, looking at oils that may help with menopause symptoms. Just giving you a sort of an explanation of what it is and how it may help. And I'm also looking at putting one together on crystals as well, depending, like I say, how alternative you want to go. I'll give you explain about crystals. When I was in my complementary therapy phase, I was doing a lot of courses. and people were talking about crystals. So I thought, oh, I'll go and do a course about that. So I signed up for this weekend course, like an introductory into crystals, and there was about 6 of us with the tutor sat in a circle in this big room at some college somewhere, and they were all talking about these crystals and the energy and stuff like that. And I was sat there thinking, my God, they're all off the rocker. They're really what the hell am I doing here? And yeah, I thought this is really beyond. I don't understand this. They're a bit strange. And then one of the activities we did was working with clear quartz. Now, clear quartz are the only crystals that you can program. So you can program the clear quartz for healing, or you can program it to bring in money or abundance or whatever you want. And it was programming clear quartz wands. And we had 2 wands. So the wands are sort of the long, thin ones that have got a point on. And we had one wand with the point coming in, and then one wand in the hand with the point coming out. And then you went, sort of closed your eyes, and she was telling us what to do. And I was sat there with these crystals, and I felt I was thrown against the wall. I was absolutely blown away. And from then it was like, oh my God, crystals are amazing. So I'm a little bit woo-woo in that side. So I have crystals all around my house. They all do different things. If you work with chakras and things like that, I used to do chakra rebalancing with crystals to help put everything back in line and stuff like that. So I won't bore you with that unless you're sort of woo related. So I am putting those together, so they will be coming out as resources. I just needed to get back up into the attic because Indy's now climbing stairs, so I can get out my books and sort of go through them and see if there's any other information I can put in. But other than that, there is, if you want the sleep resource, let me know. I can get that to you. If you've got the resilience or the what was previously called the stress assessment, if you haven't got the resilience assessment, let me know. I will get that to you as well. So the resilience assessment, that the first part is going through symptoms of stress, and you're ticking how many you've had, I think, in the last month, and then that will give you sort of a stress level. So it'll be low, medium, or high. Then after that, you've got the well-being wheel, or the wheel of life, depending on where you look. It's called different things. So the wheel of life is like a pie chart. The slices are all different areas of life. You can use the ones that I've added on, or you can Tipex them out and use your own. And then you score each slice out of 10. So 0 is the centre of the pie and 10 is the crust. That way you can actually pinpoint where your stress is. So when you're really, really stressed, it's like being in a forest. You can't see the wood for the trees. You think the stress is everything. Everything's stressing me out. I can't cope. I can't do any more. Everything's horrendous. But if you put it down or score it, you can actually pinpoint where your stress is. And what you can potentially do is, once you've worked out your stress, for example, if your stress in work is 9 out of 10, you could do a wheel for work and then stick different segments in, different slices, different areas of your work. It's the appointments or meetings, and then try and work out, score those. Then you can even pinpoint even further where your main area is. That way, once you've found it, you can actually do something about it. So that comes with a free 20-minute call with me. So we'll talk through your results, see how you've done. Was you stressed, or what you thought? Was it better? Was it worse? And then look at your wheel and find out what goals you've got to bring your stress down, and what strategies to put in place. If you're struggling with that side of it, I can definitely help you sort of try and find out, put you some goals in. We'll find out where your barriers are and how you're going to sort of manage those. So that is something. So if you registered for the workshop, that was part of the workshop registration. So if you've not booked your call now, make sure you do book it. That's again 20 minutes free call. Just want to make sure that you're doing okay. And remember, if you've got any questions, or you're struggling, or you want a resource that you can't find or you don't think we've got, Do let me know. I can definitely see if I've got one in my collection, or I can definitely put one together. So I know, I'm trying to remember off the top of the head what we've got. We've got one advice on sleep, managing anxiety, talking to your GP. I've got one on sort of talking to your employer as well. We've got one on sort of just managing menopause symptoms in general. We've got the well-being wheel. There's a bit of hate, in the file section. In the group, there's stuff on HR, sort of basic information on HRT. I'm not HRT trained, so I can't go into the nitty-gritty of dosage and different types. This just gives you a very basic information about the different types of hormone replacement there are, and then the bioidentical and the body identical, the differences and stuff like that. So there's that in there as well. There's I think I've got a menopause word search. If anyone likes word searches, they can try that out for me and tell me how they got on. We've got the self-care bingo, and I can't remember what else there is. So like I say, if there's something there, there's a hot flush one. I've mentioned hot flush. There's a hot flush resource as well. Remember, I want to help support you, but if I don't know what you need, I can't help it. So if you can let me know, that would be really good. If you want to arrange a call and just have a chat with me, that's absolutely fine. Just drop me a message and we can, get together and have a chat. Or if you've got any questions, if you need signposting somewhere, I've got a whole list of different therapists and connections and things like that I can signpost you to. I'm working with a business coach over in the States, so a lot of my health coach contacts are over there, but they are fantastic if you're looking for a health coach or someone to help with exercise or sort of eating plans and programs and stuff like that. I've had a few of them sort of do things. I've had Helen Burney talk about exercise on a Facebook Live. We've had Stephanie Pazniokis talk about health. We've had oh God, I can't remember her name. I'm really, really sorry. I apologise. My name's gone out, about gut health. I have been promising since New Year about getting my friend in who's the physio to talk about women's health. I spoke to her again last weekend. Now she's invented some massage gloves, a pelvic floor trainer that helps strengthen your pelvic floor, and she's also in the early stages of she's just had some pessaries made. So she is looking for volunteers, for people to try out pessaries. If you're struggling with urinary incontinence or bladder weakness or weak pelvic floor, she's looking for 100 ladies to try out these pessaries so she can get some research done for them. So if you're interested in that, send me a message. So yeah, I spoke to her last weekend and I said we really need to do this recording, so I'm hoping to pin her down in the next couple of weeks. So she's going to be talking the importance of what the pelvic floor is, what it does, and how to sort of manage it so everything doesn't drop out, which at the end of the day we don't want it doing. So that will be coming up as well. And again, if you do the 6-month program with me, you get a free hours consultation with Sandra as part of the program, and she's absolutely fantastic. She can diagnose you with an ache or a pain with a phone call. She's a fantastic physio, and she's a really good friend as well. So I think that's all from me. So if you've got any questions, do drop them in the comments. I don't think we've got any so far. If anyone's still there, or if you've got any comments, or if you come back or you watch on replay, do #replay. Do write any comments in. Like I say, if you want, I want to make sure that I'm giving you the information you want. So please let me know what you would like a Facebook Live on. If it's a topic, nothing is off limits. If I don't know, I'll find somebody else. And also the resources as well. If you don't know, if you can't find it or you don't know if we've got it, let me know and I can either get it to you or I can put something together. And again, the self-care challenge, that's going until the 12th. So I really encourage you to start to engage, let us know what you're doing, because if you're engaging, that will encourage other people to engage, and that way we're supporting each other and we're being accountable. If you're checking in every day, that's some accountability, and that will start helping you form a habit. So we'll look at doing it for 2 weeks, and that's the minimum time you're going to need to start making a new habit. To make the, for it to become sort of the norm, it does take several months, but 2 weeks is making that new neural pathway for that new habit. So let me know what you're doing. So let me know what you've done today for self-care. If you haven't checked in for the previous 3 days, write as a little diary. Monday I did this, Tuesday I did this, Wednesday I did this, and today I've done this. So summary: Monday I did hatha yoga. Tuesday I did my boogie bounce fitness class, and then yesterday we chilled, we drank, we rested because of the heat, and again that's been the same today. Plus I've had my my special cottage pie, my own recipe that I've turned upside down, which is turkey and cranberry with a sweet potato topping. So if you're looking at something different, that is amazing. If you want the recipe, I can give you the ingredients. I can't tell you what mixture I use, because I can never remember from one time to the next when I make it, so I never know exactly how it's going to turn out, but that is really nice if you like that type of thing. So I'm going to stop talking now, and I just want to say thank you for coming in live with me, really appreciate it. And I think we've got the virtual social, let me check, I think that's on the 15th. The 15th of July, so that'll be that's a Thursday evening again, 6:30. I'm trying to keep it on the same date and time, and that's just in Zoom, so it's not going to be, it doesn't get recorded, it doesn't get uploaded, so you can come along, have a chat, ask questions without the fear that the world and not the world and his wife, because it would only be in the group, are going to record it, is going to see the recording, so that's not there. Again, the last thing, I promise this is the last thing, the poll, I've put a poll in, if you can vote on that if you've not already done it. So what time frame and day, time frame of day or weekend do you want sort of the virtuals and the live? So if you can vote on that, that would be absolutely fantastic, because again, I want to make sure that I'm here for you and I'm not doing things when you're not able to get to them and you're not getting the benefit of it, because we know, say Facebook, unless you engage in the group or the page or with your friend or whatever, you don't see their feed. So the more you engage, the more you'll see the posts in the group. So it's a good way of just writing, a hashtag replay. That means you'll get more and more of the group, and you'll get all the stuff that's coming out, and you won't miss anything. Right, okay, so I think I've prattled on for half an hour here, so I'm going to let you get on with your evening. And again, thank you so much for coming in and joining me. I hope it's cooling off wherever you are. Remember, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. We don't want to shrivel up. We don't want to become crisps. Because that causes the brain fog and the stress causes more brain fog. So it's a vicious circle, so we want to do that. So we're going to look after ourselves, and I will say thank you, and I will see you tomorrow when I come back in for day 5 of the self-care challenge. All right then, and if you haven't watched the workshop, watch the workshop and let me know that you've watched it, so I can make sure that I've answered your questions. And if you've watched the workshop and you haven't, hashtag replay, let me know you've watched it. Or if you've got any questions, let me know. Or if you've got any ideas for the next thing I do, it'll be over 3 days, the next one will be some sort of masterclass. If there's a topic that you want covering, let me know. Let me know. I'm not a mind reader. I don't know what you want unless you tell me. I will just do what I think you need. And that doesn't help you because I'm not psychic. I have tried that. I wasn't very good at it, so you do have to let me know. Right then, I'm definitely going, and take care, and thanks very much.